Yeah, it is.
That's how I did it the first
I
time.
know he did. He had it right. It was like.
All right, we're good. We're good.
Okay, so we're not gonna redo the intro. Um,
No, we don't need to.
don't need to redo the intro. I will redo this subject. I kind of stuttered a bit anyways. Some of you may be familiar with Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Offset. Cardi B and Offset, as you know, are a couple. Nicki Minaj represents the old guard of female rappers, which not really, because to me the old guard is Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Lauryn Hill. You know, that's the old guard. But she's certainly older than Cardi. To me, an embarrassing video. Before I get into it, so I asked y'all earlier, who do y'all like better, Cardi B or Nicki Minaj? First of all,
I got Nicki.
why? She
Look,
better
I'm gonna say
lyrics.
this, Cardi B. Look, man, and I'll say this too. Besides Cardi B, didn't Nicki Minaj get bodied on the ether verse?
She
right?
did.
Well, who was that? Remy
No,
Ma
that's
bodied her
Remy Ma.
not even once,
But
but she came back and she did it again without her even replying. So how can Nicki Minaj be the GOAT when you didn't reply to somebody that bodied you on a track?
She's not the GOAT. Let's be
No,
clear.
no,
yeah,
I don't know
nobody
who's
saying
saying.
no.
Hold on. You can't put
But
Cardi
she is
B
better
in
than
that
Cardi B.
conversation, but you can definitely put Nicki in that.
Cardi B, the
You
hottest
can-
female out of New York.
When it comes
right
to
now,
female
though.
rappers,
Right
You
now.
can definitely put Nicki in the conversation, but I'm gonna say this. I think Lil Wayne writes for Nicki. I do.
Or I
think he
think
writes
there's
for
some
Nicki.
sort of
Yeah.
assistance there.
But let me say this, okay? These young men all have good points. First of all, shout out to Remy Ma.
Let's go.
She's old school, savage. But let me say this. I like both of them. I like Cardi B's personality. And I like Nicki Minaj's rhymes. So what I want to tell you is, Nicki Minaj's husband shoots a video. I don't know if any of you guys seen this, but he shows up, I guess, after a concert, and he's like, and I want to see if I can show y'all this, because it's just embarrassing. It is. It's embarrassing, you know. So he goes looking for, I want to see, oh, they're not going to show it. Okay, here it is. So Nicki Minaj's husband goes on, he's like, Offset, where are you at? And he's got his boys with him, blah, blah, blah. So Offset sits there and laughs about it. There it is. Here's Offset's. He laughing, getting on a plane.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the response is kind of, you know.
I mean, look, Nicki Minaj's husband, first of all, bruh, anytime you're known as, you're not known by your name.
Yeah,
You're
let's
not
start there.
you're known as Nicki Minaj's husband. Nobody knows you, okay? And that's the first thing. Why would Offset even give him time of day? He didn't. He laughed about it and jumped on a private jet, okay? Is that the ultimate clapback?
It is. It's absolutely.
basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you can't also hop on a jet,
Yeah.
Right.
That's it, he hopping on the jet. I mean, you can't come back from that.
No, he got bodied, and I'm just gonna tell you, the whole thing was corny to me because here's this guy. He's frustrated because his wife is beefing with another female.
Right.
That's the first thing. This is between Cardi and Nicki. Why are you beefing with Offset? What is your problem? What's he got to do with
he
it?
he at night.
He's a white knight.
He's
Yeah.
shining armor out here.
But you know, my thing is this. So you intervene and you get in the middle of it and you just end up looking silly. Then you film yourself with your goons saying, we're looking for you, we're going to do this and that. Okay, here's my question. If you had found him, then what? Then you've left a trail of evidence from here to Tallahassee saying that you were looking for him to harm him. So the streets is dead, y'all. It's dead. Look, young men, You know, I'm proud to say that these young men haven't really ever been street dudes. That's a good thing. Let me tell y'all something. I used to be I was the street dude. I was ignorant, stupid, and broke. And that's what it gets you. Oh, no. Ignorant, stupid, broke, and a criminal record. Okay? And, but I can tell you there was a different code back then. And this ain't it. Well, do you guys not see the problem with people that claim to be street thugs filming every action?
Yeah.
Well, that's just how you get caught up. It doesn't make
You
sense.
get in
You see
trouble
it
and then you
nowadays.
get locked up.
Well, hopefully they wake up. At least Charleston White, who we're going to get to soon. Charleston, come on, bro. Well, at least Charleston White admits that he's police, that he'll have you arrested.
He does too.
He says it, you know? I mean, look, let me say this. If you attack Charleston White after he has repeatedly said on camera he will have you arrested, you's a dummy. That's all. Shout out to Cardi B and Nicki. Husbands, stay out of it. You know,
That's
you
like
ain't
that
got-
Safari Samuels thing.
Oh, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. You know, again, some of these guys are just known as the wife of. Well, I don't know if you guys remember when Meek Mill was with Nicki.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
And Drake came out and said, "Is that your world tour or your girls
He
tour?"
ended
Yeah.
it right there with that
Man.
one line.
That bar.
Killed it.
Yeah. I mean, because Nicki was hotter than him at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I guess it's sexist to say, look, I'll just tell y'all, if my wife makes way more than me and says, you be the husband wife, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make money. I'm going to try. But if she's like, look, I want you to be on my arm and I'm going to make the billions,
Yeah.
I'll do that. But I ain't going to be out here flexing like I'm the GOAT.
I might
either.
flex a little bit, just a little bit,
Just a
because
little bit.
then we're still gonna have boats and planes and all this other stuff.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, look what my girl put me
Look,
in.
look what she
Yeah,
got me.
facts.
Yeah, yo,
You know,
the only time it's acceptable to drive your girl's car,
yeah, if she's built like that, hey, it's alright. You know.
Rolls Royce.
So, let's go to this next one. There's so many interesting subjects. I want to talk about something that there's not a specific story about it. BBLs. BBLs, okay? Guys, I've seen so many, and you know, my sons now, they're grown. When they were 14, 15, we couldn't have this discussion, okay? Now we can have it. You're young men, you out here, you're dating, you see females, you may see something you find attractive. When you see a BBL,
We still talking about Nicki?
no, well, listen, I want to say
Talking
this.
about Nicki Minaj?
I feel like Nikki had the best BBL in the
She
game.
did.
You just gotta
She
go to the
did.
right
You know,
doctor.
She actually got
Yeah.
reduction surgery recently.
Yeah.
She did.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she came out on camera and she said that she regretted her BBL.
Yeah.
I mean, it did look good though.
It looked
Yeah.
great. Let me say that, but let me say this. She said she's scared that some of the chemicals could break out and be floating in her body and kill her.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say too. Is I've read stories of people with botched BBL, what is it, the lip injections and stuff they
Killed
do.
'em.
She
Kills
probably
them.
read the same
Yeah.
thing.
Does all kinds of crazy stuff.
Well, she's seen the stories.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Listen, there was a young lady, I want to say this happened in LA. There was this doctor, which turns out the chick didn't even have a freaking printed degree from online. She wasn't nothing, okay? She was going around representing herself as a doctor out in LA. She botched several butt implants. Finally, she gets this young 24-year-old mother, gets her out there, comes to her house, injects her with silicone.
Oh shit.
It immediately breaks into her bloodstream. The girl starts, the doctor's, oh, you're good, just go lay down, Girl died. So now there's warrants out for this lady. I don't have an update. She may have been caught, but I don't get it. Why do these women take the risk when half of these BBLs look ridiculous? You see them, the butt don't match the legs.
I'll tell you like
Ever.
this. BBL sagging, I'm not bagging.
Hey, I like that quotable. I mean,
Real
look,
talk.
sometimes it looks like, I don't want to be chauvinistic or sound bad, but it looks like a trash bag with cottage cheese in it. Like, it's just not attractive, you know? And again, the one that brought it to my attention, there's this guy on Instagram. I can't remember his name, but he's real famous for getting these women these upgrades. Well, he had this one girl, and it shows her getting in an elevator. And somebody wrote a song about her saying the ass and legs don't match.
Oh, no.
And it was just true. Her legs just did not match her booty. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, dude, she's got to see that that's the case. But she's probably so invested in it now because she spent the money, had the procedure. She don't want to admit to it. Would any of y'all let your girl get a
No.
procedure?
Nope.
No.
Look, you know,
All natural.
I think what it is too is how much attention do you really want?
Yeah.
How much attention do you really want? You know, because girls that are just going to work and getting money and just doing whatever they do, they're not worried about all that. you
Right.
know?
Well, first of all, let me rewind. I said, and you're right. I said, would you let your girl? Look, we get it. Women are going to make their own decisions. They have that right. But I'm saying, would you have a strong opinion of yes or no on it? That would have been a better way to phrase it. But let me say this. You know, in the end, I just don't, for me, I don't get why you take the risk. I don't get, you said women that work may not want the attention. When you ask women how much attention they want, the answer is yes. They want it all. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, especially in the age of social media, you get on Instagram now and get a few
Oh,
likes.
God.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a high
They
for some
think
people.
social media is just like,
And look, again, because I've already stumbled up here and said several things that people are going to take the wrong way. When I say they want attention, I mean good attention.
Yeah,
No
right,
woman
yeah.
wants to be creeped out or harassed, etc. But, you know, every woman likes to be flattered.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's
Well,
nothing wrong with
fuck
that.
that. Every man likes to be flattered. We all like if, you know, a woman gives us a compliment.
Yeah.
It's human nature. The problem is, what I've noticed is even some of the most beautiful women on earth have insecurities, crazy insecurities. And I can't remember, I think it was Holly Berry. She was talking about her appearance, and she said she would struggle sometimes thinking that she was ugly and that people were lying to her about her beauty. This is Holly, well, y'all are young.
I know who
Older
that
guys, this is Holly Berry, okay? And she didn't think she was good enough at some point. So I can understand the psychology. Ladies, you're good enough as you are, okay? Do not go out and alter your appearance to impress a man. I love my wife. I told my wife, and I tell her all the time, I don't give a damn if you're 80, 90, you still look the same to me. And I stand on that. Okay. Speaking of which, this one here is, you know, speaking of wives, girlfriends, you know, I want to say this. Every couple fights. There's young couples out there, they'll have arguments behind closed doors, and they think, oh, we're not meant to be together. We're having fights. Listen, young folks, every couple fights. And the longer you're together, the more intense but short your fights get. Like, me and my wife will be like, and then 5 minutes later, well, what do you want for dinner? And it's over, you know. That's just how marriage is, and the longer it goes along, you learn not to take shit personally, right? But there's a fine line in that, in savagery, domestic abuse, etc. There was a U.S. missionary named Lucas Richard who has been arrested for the attempted murder of his pregnant Liberian girlfriend, Jessica Lloyd. He went for missionary work, impregnated her. He has a wife in America already.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Oh.
So when the missionary went to another country,
Gets this girl pregnant. So he then tries to slice her throat. Then he injected her with some kind of chemical trying to cause her to have a miscarriage.
what in the world?
Okay. how many times have we heard these horrendous stories about awful things being done to women who are pregnant because they're pregnant? And why? We won't get too deep into everybody's personal life, but it's like this. Having a child, no matter what, is a gift. Yes, you may have a child under tough circumstances, but fellas, would you ever be so afraid of a child that you would hurt the woman?
No,
Fuck no.
that's a whole life.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a whole
that's
couple
that's,
lives.
that's,
Yeah.
that's a different debate, but
Look, if you don't want to be a dad, there are ways.
there's ways.
You could literally have somebody else.
I mean, you can
Raise
get
this
convicted
kid.
for a felony
Right.
and you don't have to pay no child support.
Well,
That's
I
a
mean,
crazy way.
listen, there's all kinds of dirtbag methods to get out of being a father. But you don't hurt a woman. And I'll say to you, if you go out and impregnate a woman, be a man, okay? Again, 2 of my sons are fathers now, and they're going to be good fathers. They took care of the responsibility. They're going to step up to the plate. I made Nate when I was 17, y'all. 17. Now,
Young man.
very young. And I had a lot of years of mistakes after that. But I always knew that's my son, and I'm going to make sure one day that I do right and I'm a good father, okay? I just can't picture, like the dude Scott Peterson. Now, you guys are young. Have you ever heard of Scott Peterson?
That
No.
name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever heard this story.
Scott Peterson was a clean-cut, pretty boy white dude out in, I want to say San Francisco. It was definitely in California. He had a wife named Lacey Peterson, and she was, I believe, 8 months pregnant. And he was having an affair with another woman. He decided he wanted to be with the other woman. The other woman's name was Amber Heard. So he,
Oh, I've heard of her.
he
For real?
yeah. So he offs Lacey, offs her. Her body is found, I believe, the day after Christmas. Missing limbs, just horrible, horrible. And if you look, it's so sad because you see the pictures of this woman. She was so happy to be alive, to be pregnant, to be married to this guy, and she had no clue that this dude was plotting on her life. He was going to take her life. I'm going to ramble one other second, then I want to let y'all talk a little. There was an NFL player, and I know y'all don't know about this because this was in the 90s. An NFL player named Ray Caruth. Old school people, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Ray Caruth. Ray Caruth played for the Carolina Panthers. He had a young girlfriend. She got pregnant. Same thing, he didn't want the baby. He sets her up for a drive-by. She dies. The baby, because of the blood loss, etc., ended up having mental deformities. But he's now a grown adult. And Ray Caruth, who I believe was recently released from prison, is trying to get custody of this child. It's ridiculous. You offed his mother, you know.
Yeah, what the
I don't
fuck?
think he deserves that child.
That's
No.
You shouldn't be allowed
That's
to see him.
bold.
I don't even know how he got out of prison.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say, you
Oh,
shouldn't
yeah,
be
yeah,
allowed
yeah,
outside
that's-
bars.
You know.
Yeah.
What?
Well, look, guys, the sad thing is this in America, it's usually about who your lawyer is, how much money you have to pay for a lawyer. He had NFL money. So he bought his 22, I think he got sentenced to like 22 years for, first degree planned homicide of a pregnant woman.
Which
So,
is probably as bad as it gets.
yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
it doesn't get much worse than killing a pregnant woman.
short of
Yeah.
harming a
Mercy
child.
kills.
Just directly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, she was a child was there too. So, I just say this. I like to think that most young men out there know you got to do the right thing. You got to if you make a decision to lay down and a baby is conceived, you got to step up and be a man and try to be a father.
You wouldn't want your father to do the exact same thing.
And abandon. Yeah.
Exactly.
You someday, son, obviously will have kids. You plan on it. You gonna wait till you get a little older though.
Oh, definitely.
Well,
I deal with kids too much with my little brother and sister. Yeah.
Who is-
Hey, listen,
They are some.
my youngest, their brother and sister, they're mini terrorists. I just want to let y'all know.
Basically.
But again, to that so-called missionary who attempted to kill a young lady, you're despicable, dude. Like, I mean, just horrible situation. Lucas, yeah, Lucas Richards. I hope you get what's coming to you. I'll say that. Now on to something a little lighter, although I don't know that this is lighter. The Air Force right now is asking the public for help. They had an $80 million jet flying on autopilot. Or no, excuse me, flying with a pilot. The pilot ejected himself, so autopilot took over. And now the jet is flying around, I don't know where.
The hell you gonna catch that?
What? They're asking for the public's help.
Yeah, like-
What are we gonna do?
They act like we just go reach up and grab it. I don't know.
Hey, let me say this. Where's the
think I can
Fast and
fly?
Furious crew when you need them?
Hey, Dom,
Dom,
we need
yeah,
you.
Dom.
We need you.
Come
I
on.
need you.
Hey, listen.
Somebody tag Vin Diesel.
I just don't understand. Like, what are they gonna do? The only thing I can think of that they could do is wait till it crashes. Because even if you chased it with another jet, right?
Right.
Then what?
Yeah.
You get up there, you know, you're not going to chase it with a helicopter or a slower plane that somebody could jump out of. So you chase it with a fast jet that matches its speed. It's not like you can jump out of the jet in midair and get on top of it. The only thing that can be done here, to my knowledge, is wait till it crashes. Does anybody else got any other ideas?
We should, like that Titan submersible, we need a game controller for this type of thing, man. We have got to have a backup. Why did he eject himself?
Well,
What the hell
They
is
probably
going
got
on?
it when it crashed.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he? So wait a
Here's the
minute.
thing.
He knew he was the only guy on the plane, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Look, I'm out. You know, I'm just gonna
I'm
jump
out.
out of it.
Oh,
$80 million. See you later."
I mean,
Wow.
the thing is, obviously the plane wasn't too badly damaged, or it wouldn't still be flying. So again, why did you eject? What happened that made you eject?
I bet it crashed out by now. Surely it had to.
Well, this was posted this morning, but you're right. I mean, jets only have so much fuel, so you want to think that finally it's crashed, or hope.
Well, let's hope that if that does happen, that it doesn't hit a neighborhood or,
Yeah, I was
or
gonna say,
some
that's-
city
Yeah.
or something crazy.
Yeah. By the way, if y'all see my high C juice boxes laying here, we drink these. Just keep that quiet.
Not sponsored.
It's true.
So, another light story. There's a dude who's been using his Disneyland lifetime ticket since its first day of operation in 1955.
And they allow it?
Yeah.
It's a lifetime ticket.
I mean, it's
Look,
a
I'll say
lifetime
this.
ticket.
Hey.
I know of a guy, and you can look this up. He had a lifetime airline ticket. And he flew too much, and they said, "Nah, we're gonna revoke your airtime, your lifetime ticket because you used it." Like bro, when I'm telling you, he used it. He was flying like all the time.
But they revoked it?
They did. Like after a while, they were like, "Nah,
How
you
can
gotta."
That doesn't
do
make
that?
How
sense.
can you
Yeah,
do
it's
that?
lifetime.
I think
sue
that's
him?
what I'm saying. That
Did
he
you
been
sue him?
flying. I think he flew for like 20, 30 years.
He probably was like, hey, you know, I won on this deal.
I've already been
Anywhere
everywhere.
he wants.
I've already been everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, that's their stupidity. You give somebody a lifetime ticket, they're going to take advantage
You
of it.
need to honor it. If it's lifetime, you need to honor it.
But look at homie right here. He's happy as a mofo to be at
I bet
Disneyland.
so.
You know, I mean,
It's how much his life.
speaking of which, have any of y'all been to Disneyland?
Never been.
We, so we
I heard it's
almost,
evil.
We almost went.
we almost went last year,
We almost,
right?
yeah, when we went to
should go
Florida,
this
yeah. when we-
We're going to go this year. We're going to take the littler kids, but I think we're going to put Mickey Mouse ears on these three too.
I heard that
I
it's
mean,
evil over there, so I'm
yeah.
not sure.
I don't know what goes
I
on.
got a little
you know.
story about Disney World.
Let's hear this.
You want to hear it right now?
Yeah, let's hear what you got.
We got some craziness going on at Disney World.
While he's looking, I'm going to pick up, or if you find it, let me know.
Found it.
Okay?
So they found a bear in Disney World.
Huh?
Found it about a day ago.
Oh, shit.
What kind of bear?
It just says a loose bear in the Magic Kingdom. And then
Why are there
they
always...
reopened the rides today.
Oh,
Okay,
Disneyland's cursed.
it's always a bear or a gator.
that's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
That don't shock me.
Nah.
On a tragic side of things, you guys may remember a couple years back, a father and his 6-year-old son are at Disneyland in I forget what it's called, some pool area, and a freaking alligator had gotten in there
Yeah,
from the
I heard
swamp,
about that.
and it took the child. The dad, of course, fought valiantly, but these are 6-foot killing machines. So, you know, that's the small ones. I think they can get up to 12 feet. But, yeah. So, it don't surprise me if bear was in
It was a
Disneyland.
black bear.
Black bear.
You
Yeah.
figure a multi-million-dollar company.
It would have
be able to-
safety precautions.
Where's
Yeah.
the Rangers? They know these bears are sneaking in.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Dude,
Yeah, where do you
something.
enter from?
Stay on
That's the
site.
real question.
I mean,
They big as hell. How do you even miss it?
it's a little scary because if you think about it, if bears and alligators can just get in there,
What else?
what else can get in? What else can
Well, you
happen?
would think after the alligator incident, that would have been
It'd
it
be
right
wrapped.
there. Then
Yeah.
they would have been like, all right,
They had
electric
that on
fences and
lock.
shit all around
Yeah.
this place. you
Well,
know?
I'm sure they're going to be. I don't know if that was ever settled. They're going to pay big time money for that child's death.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Speaking
yeah,
of
yeah.
bear,
Elon Musk suggests he will charge all X/Twitter users a small monthly fee to be on his platform.
Yeah.
Oh,
Surprise, surprise!
Hey,
X got the battle pass.
There's the death of Twitter right there.
It's over.
That's the death of Twitter.
Facts.
Nothing
Yeah,
on
facts.
there worth paying for.
I mean, look, it was already going downhill since he took over. Twitter was a pretty successful app. I mean, think about how many stars actually enjoyed and took part in participating on Twitter, okay?
Yeah.
And this guy takes it over and he's single-handedly ruining it, you know? Nobody is going to use Twitter if he puts a small monthly fee. I promise you. Why would they? Instagram's free.
Unless you're making more than you're going to be paying out. But the,
Well, that's right.
But the
That's why
average
Instagram
everyday
made
person.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Right.
It's called what? Threads?
Threads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yep.
they did.
Threads.
Never heard
That's a
that.
different.
Twitter is dead either way though. You know, nobody's going to get on. It was like the town square of,
Yeah.
of apps. And
Facts.
now you get on there and it's stuff I don't even recognize now.
No, I tell you, he said that he wants to allow hate speech. He wants to allow whatever to be said. I'm sorry. The people that like hate speech may enjoy that.
You can
But
go
the
to
rest of
Reddit.
people don't. Right.
You can go to Reddit if you want to get on there and
Spew vile
if you want
BS.
to use slurs and everything else, go to Reddit.
Reddit
Yeah.
is violent.
It is, man. I mean,
you could find beheadings and everything on there.
Yeah.
Go do all that over there where they've been doing it for years.
Twitter was pretty chill,
Take
you
it
know.
on my Twitter.
I won't say it was completely chill, but it's out of hand now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one more subject because, guys, we did a late episode here tonight. We had some malfunctions, so I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a couple of their subjects, and we're gonna go to sports. An HIV positive Florida track coach charged and arrested for battery of a teenage boy at Lakeland High School.
That's Florida.
Battery. Oh,
Come on.
like assault, right? Like
Assault.
Yeah.
Okay.
That gotta be the craziest day I've ever seen in my life.
It is. I mean,
It's
it's became a meme. Like, Florida is just a meme now.
Yeah.
When you think of Florida, you think wackiness.
yeah, but
okay.
this shit right here ain't funny.
No, it's not.
funny.
And you know, several of these incidents with teachers have came out of Florida. Look, I know it happens all over, but you know, with this I talked about this in another episode. My two youngest children, I'm homeschooling right now. My daughter, before them, I had homeschooled. And it's because I get so afraid of some of the crap going on in schools now. Okay? Could you imagine being the child, first of all? Because the child now is sadly probably infected with this horrible disease.
Yep.
Then, if I was the parents, listen,
I'd be catching a charge.
he
for
wasn't
sure.
going to be making it to
yeah.
court.
It'd be
I
some-
promise you.
I'd have to Gary Klaus him right there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just, parents, I'll say this to you real quick. watch your children. Don't trust everybody. There's a lot more predators out there than you know. I think I asked you guys this on the other episode. Have any of y'all ever had any weird vibes from teachers, etc., when you were kids?
Yeah,
Or
you asked us this before.
I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they said they had a few. I remember now. Hey, listen, to our viewers, live or when you comment, have any of y'all ever had a weird vibe like that? And if so, did you immediately report it? I say to anybody watching, if you think that if you know a child, or if you are a child and you feel like an adult's coming at you funny, report that immediately. Even if you're not sure, report it. Because you cannot, there's some people that just aren't good and aren't trustworthy in this world.
I feel like a lot of these students, they're too scared to report it because of the power, difference.
And that's,
Yeah.
no, I get that, but unfortunately in those situations, you're the only one who can help yourself until you tell somebody else, and to that dude, I hope you get everything you deserve and then some.
That should have been more than a battery. Like, is it just he got arrested
Is
for
it
battery?
Well, it's a high level, and he's
I
facing a lot of years for it.
I just think when you have a disease such as that, and then you knowingly go and infect somebody else, especially not by their consent.
Should be attempted murder.
That's what I was gonna
Facts.
say. It should be
Yeah.
something along the lines of that, because
I
now
agree.
that kid's whole future, his whole life, like he's just scarred probably.
Well, scarred, and on top of it, you can imagine other people heard about it. Kids can be mean. It's terrible.
Is he gonna be able to get a family now?
Well, that's
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know women can be understanding, but some can't,
well, people sometimes can't be understanding. So
Yeah.
prayers to that young man for him,
For sure.
and curses for that coach who's a deviant. Nate, let's get to your subjects real quick. Let's do 2 from you and 2 from Justice.
You wanna do the ones?
No, we'll get to that segment in a minute.
Alright, we'll start with this guy, right? This is kind of a wacky one we'll start out with here. This guy in Tennessee, right? He went to a Little Caesars. You might have heard about this. He went to a Little Caesars hot and ready pizza, right?
Hot and ready.
Yep.
So he went over there, I think he waited like 10 minutes, which isn't unreasonable to wait for a pizza.
Right.
He gets the pizza and it's cold. So
Okay.
what
Should've
would
been
you
free.
do in this situation? You get a cold pizza, you ask for another one,
I'd
right?
ask for
Right.
another.
This man grabs an AK and comes back.
Yo,
Brings, I'm talking about
0 to 100.
65-year-old man, mad about a pizza. Got an AK-47, brought it in. He starts pointing it at the worker. Hey, I need another pizza like right now. And it was so bad that a lady in the restaurant offered her pizza, and he didn't want it. But he dipped. He got the pizza,
I thought you
and
was
he
gonna
dipped,
say
and then he
you
got
shot
arrested.
Well, first of all, thank goodness nobody was shot.
yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
start there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
People like that, obviously, you can almost bet you that 1 or 2 or 3 things is going on here. Either A, he's intoxicated or drunk.
Yeah.
B, he's got previous mental issues. Or lastly, this guy's had something building inside of him for a while. Because you just can't convince me that a cold pizza was your breaking point. That was your breaking point? World pollution, world war, none of that broke you. Instead, a cold pizza sent you over the edge and had you pulling an assault rifle. I mean, to me, he probably had some built up rage. That's the sad, and listen, I'm not making excuses for him. He was dead wrong. Hope he goes to jail for it. He deserves to. But what I'm saying is this: you never know what somebody's going through, y'all. You never know. That's why I tell you guys, all of y'all can fight. Be careful out here, because there's fools out here that are stupid. They see that you look tough, they're pulling a weapon, and it could be over something petty. Do you guys have any theories on what would make a person reach their breaking point over a pizza?
It seems most likely it's mental illness.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Maybe mixed in a little bit with he just got to that point where he was like, man, I'm gonna fuck
There
it
was
up
a lot of
today.
little
Could be
problems.
deeper.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
The little things can get you.
Well, they can. You know, sometimes it just starts to add up.
Well, he was in his 60s, 65, you know.
Well,
so
that's another thing.
He was
you
a little
know,
bit on the elderly side, so he probably did have some mental stuff going on.
I'll say this last thing. You know, me, I'm what you may call a spiraler. I'm calm. Then in a day, I'll have several little things back to back go wrong, and I start, you know, flipping out. Not really, but some people, that's how it goes. Stuff just piles on. Then they have some kind of break. But I gotta say to you, going and pulling a gun or a weapon is never the freaking answer, y'all. That's the last answer. Do not do it. Okay? Justice, what you got?
Well, we'll start with another food topic for me as well. So when you go to Arby's, you know, they're supposed to have the meats, right?
Yeah.
I've seen
You know,
That is their
So-
slogan.
we had a guy on September 5th sue Arby's for not having enough meat on their sandwiches.
My
Did he
man must
measure
have-
it?
He must have broke the scale out and put
Yeah.
it on there.
Like,
I-
what happened?
I don't know what got him to the point to
How did
sue
he determine
Arby's.
what was enough and what wasn't enough?
Well,
That's what I said. He had to put it on the
I don't know if
scale.
it was his own judgment or if he weighed it out. You know, but
Oh my
I
God.
mean,
This all is going to fit into a food segment, by the way.
I
The
actually got
pizza.
another food one too that we'll bounce back to.
Let's
Yeah.
That's
get it.
similar to this
yeah,
one after.
these restaurants are getting trashed for not giving out the right food, right?
So let me ask you: did he win the lawsuit or he just filed it?
Or it's
He just filed it and it's in like,
Oh,
I don't think it's
emotional.
went
They
through
probably
yet,
not
you
even
know.
gonna go to court for that.
That's
So
not gonna
you'd
make
be
it
surprised,
out there.
guys. You would be surprised. Listen, Google this. There was a dude who sued the maker of M&M candy because he bit into an M&M peanut and there wasn't a peanut in it, and it made him bite his tongue.
That's like that guy that sued Red Bull. They
Yeah.
said it didn't give him wings like the kid said. He actually sued Red Bull.
Wow. Did he win?
Nah, he did not. Or actually, I don't remember.
Listen.
Now
So
I gotta find out.
this is what I want to say when you say it probably won't make it to court. A lot of times, it's not whether they win or not. These companies just don't want no drama. So they'll hit you up, let's settle out of court.
He won $13 million for that settlement.
What?
I'm in the wrong business.
Companies.
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong business.
Advertisements.
He must have just been the first guy that realized this was
Wow.
probably at
Be
a time
careful
where
how
people.
you advertise y'all's products.
So I
Yeah.
wonder now, does Red Bull have a disclaimer that says we don't actually give you wins?
I don't know if it's still on the
Oh, man.
can.
yeah.
You know?
I don't
Well-
even see it on the can, so they must have just been like, nah, that's never happened.
Now with that story, this dude could actually get some money off of this lawsuit.
He could. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because he claims false and misleading advertisement. So, you know,
Well,
you say you had the meats, you know the meats.
Did he measure it?
Well,
I don't
we
know. I don't
we
know
don't
the
know.
sincerity, you know, but
Look.
Maybe he went there one time and there was a certain amount, then he went back and it was different or something.
yeah.
Look, like I said,
Dusted off
if the
that,
M&M
yeah.
peanut dude
Yeah.
can win from no peanut, then probably anybody can. What's your food story? I want to hear
This
this.
one's kind of similar, but this one's just outrageous. This one's just outrageous, right? This guy in Michigan was he was at an Olive Garden, and he said he was eating some soup, and he said he felt something sharp in his cheek, right?
What?
He said, all right. He pulled it out, and it was supposedly a rat's foot. A rat's foot.
No shot.
Let me show you this picture of the foot he found.
Oh.
That's what he supposedly found in his soup.
Oh, hell no.
So he's suing Olive Garden.
That's something that you win right there.
Yeah. So,
Ugh,
That's
bro.
brutal.
Now that's big money.
Yeah.
but how would
facts.
you like?
That's a
Hey,
good
right?
I gotta ask though, right? How big are the bowls, and how like would you not really see a whole rat's foot? Or
I mean,
I
I don't know.
mean,
You
look.
might be hungry.
I mean,
you
you
know-
might just be scarfing.
Yeah.
You're not going to really think that there's a rat's foot in your soup. He may have seen it and thought it was a vegetable at first or
Yeah,
something.
it was
Yeah,
discolored.
facts.
And then he picks it up and and then you look at it.
How did the cooks not notice before giving out the soup?
How does just a foot get in there?
Yeah.
You know what that tells
That's
me?
the real question.
That a rat probably got grinded up somewhere.
Or they did it deliberately.
Well, that's the
I
other.
did it deliberately.
But who would do that? Now, why would you get your restaurant sued?
Yeah, I think they just dishing out arms, legs, ears.
Yeah.
That'd be
That
the most,
rat.
bro. I think I would actually,
I'd flip.
bro. I would,
Yeah.
I would flip.
Yeah.
yo,
Like,
That'd be something
Ugh.
that I'd actually sue for.
I would
Unlike
actually
these
be mad
stories
as hell.
prior.
rat's foot, man. Hey, listen, we're going to get to our sports segment. Then we're going to get back to the world swings back. You guys know we had a huge week of sports, just overall. But I'm going to tell you, the NFL really brought it this week. I had a blast watching the games. I do want to say I got two homeboys. There's three of us, and all of our teams right now are 2-0. My boy Esteban likes the Eagles. Corey likes the Dolphins. And of course, we're Ravens fans. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. We're high. But Elijah and Justice got our sports. What you got for us?
Started off, Justice.
You want me
got
to? All right, let me find what I got real quick.
I got to tell you, NFL this year has been wacky. Wow, he's
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, speaking of the Dolphins, after that
Oh
Dolphins-Patriots
my
game, a 53-year-old man tragically died at the Patriots game Sunday after an apparent medical event.
They don't know what.
They don't
Heart
know.
attack or something.
Yeah, I'm guessing, but the Patriots just had him, he's stressing.
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you, listen, it's crazy the stuff that goes on at those games.
Yeah,
The calamities. You've seen people fall out of the stadium, like out of the stands.
yeah.
There was an incident, I can't remember if it was baseball or football, where a fan fell like from an upper deck and died. There was an incident a couple years ago at a Chargers-Raiders game where a fan got stabbed. He was beefing with another fan.
Yeah.
Got stabbed, he died. Then, there's a couple stadiums that have jails in the stadium, which that should tell you all you need to know. But yeah, that's awful, man. You go to a game, who knows though? Maybe he was a fan of the other team and he got to witness them win.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got anything?
Well, I'm gonna start off with that one kid from Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter against Houston. I've been watching this kid since Florida. He's been a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, he went out with a concussion. I hope he bounces back and gets back to his old form. But he's one of the best dual threat quarterbacks I've seen right now.
I don't know if you remember when we thought that maybe Lamar was going to leave. He was one of the ones I wanted.
Yeah.
And there was actually several fans saying, yo, let Lamar go. Let's take Anthony Richardson. Now, I'm not going to go that far, okay? I think Lamar is overall a little more polished and a little more talented. But this kid, Anthony Richardson's special
He's 6'4", 225.
and can run
Yeah.
and can throw. He can do it all.
He had 225 yards first game.
Now, who's the number 1 receiver out there? Or do you even do we even know their name?
I don't even know.
Because that team basically imploded. I remember. I don't know if you guys are.
Michael Pittman.
Okay. He's not bad.
He's not bad, but he's not a wide receiver.
He's not. So I don't know if you remember years ago, they had Andrew Luck, and I remember when Andrew Luck was drafted, he came out and everybody thought he was going to be the next great thing.
Yeah.
So if you go on like draft profile, NFL.com, they profile and rank draft prospects, and it's from 2 to 10 or some shit. And there's only been like 10 perfect prospects in the history of NFL. Andrew Luck was one of them. He was
Yeah.
given a perfect score, the perfect prospect. And he was doing good, although I don't think he lived up to the hype
Right.
as much. Then I remember the day he retired because he was still fairly young. They came out, Andrew Luck retired. I thought it was a misprint. But he's seen the stuff about the concussions, And those concussions, look, all of y'all box. And I'm going to tell you something. It scares me as a father. Because on one hand, I love this sport. I think it's great. I love football too. On the other hand, those concussions cause depression. They cause mental illness. It's bad. So, if you remember, I told you once, if I ever see you get knocked out in more than 2 fights in a row, you're done. And I'm not going to let you guys ever get brain trauma. But have any of y'all seen the movie Concussion?
Nah.
No. Will Smith was in it. It's about this African doctor who figured out about CTE. You guys know what CTE is?
Oh, yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
brain disease.
Well, it was an African doctor that first realized that this is what's happening and that these bumps and it isn't just getting a concussion. It isn't just a knockout. It's the bumps. Like when they bump helmets in practice and stuff, it's putting little contusions on their brain. And he's seen that added up. I want to say, on a dark subject in relation to this, there was an NFL player named Junior Seau. He was one of the greatest linebackers ever. He played for 21 years. 21, which is insane.
That's a lot of football.
Junior Seau, after he retired, sits on his bed, cocks his pistol, shoots himself in the heart, kills himself. Nobody could figure out why. Everything seemed to be going good. When they did his autopsy afterwards, he had severe CTE. They said he had the brain of an 80-year-old man. Okay? And
How old was he when he retired?
he was like 40-something,
Oh,
But
so that's major though.
Yeah.
That's major.
brain of an 80-year-old, So, I mean, of course, be safe out there. I get it why Andrew Luck retired. Patrick Willis did the same thing. He retired. He was a star linebacker. So I get that, I want to do one subject on our sports section tonight. I want to talk about the return of my Ravens. Now, you guys may think this is selfish, and I get it. I understand, But there is 3 of us at this table that
This is our year.
this is our
I'm
year.
just saying.
Listen, I want to say this.
Giants already getting blew out. That's
Hey,
crazy.
we scored our first
Saquon Barkley
touchdown.
just got injured.
I don't want to hear no
Yeah,
hey.
it was,
Hey.
ankle.
You all coming back, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Lamar Jackson, for the first time ever, has weapons. He has weapons. You may have heard of a certain receiver out of Boston College named Zay Flowers. He looks like he's going to be a superstar. Okay, Lamar for the first time, and I don't know if you're seeing it, but he looks like a progressive, comfortable quarterback. It used to be he would look for his check down, and then run. Now, in the game, you're watching him go through all his progressions. Boom, boom, boom. I seen him hit his 4th option. Bam, for a touchdown. Aguilar. So, Lamar is growing. Then on the other side, you got Patrick Queen and why do I always forget
Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith. Humphrey and Marcus Williams, our star secondary players, aren't even in right now. Okay?
We're dominating.
And we're dominating. Listen, Ravens Nation. Look, I do hope, though, because my son down here is a Giants fan,
G-Man, baby.
I hope that we get a rematch of the Super Bowl from the year 2000. That'd be awesome to see both our teams
I'd
play.
love that. That was a long time ago.
Y'all would be
It
crazy.
was. Y'all do got old Danny Dimes over there, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, we got a new receiver. He was our 3rd pick in the draft, Jalen Hyatt.
Oh, he's supposed to be good.
Yeah,
you
he
doing?
finally got a little bit of playing time when we played against the Cardinals. And
How do you do?
well, I don't know his exact stats, but I know he had a couple of catches and he had
Got
a
a couple
touchdown.
catches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the Giants, man, they're always in it. The Giants now, I believe, got 4 Super Bowls.
yeah.
Hey, listen, y'all don't realize there's franchises out there that don't have a single Super Bowl. The Arizona Cardinals, Detroit Lions, etc., etc. Although I do want to say the Arizona Cardinals, I will never forget the Super Bowl y'all choked away versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. It frustrated me so bad, and I'll never forget Larry Fitzgerald standing on the sideline going, no, like he literally looked like he was going to cry because James Harrison was taking a 98-yard touchdown back to the house.
Larry deserved a ring.
He deserved
He
it,
literally
dude.
deserved a ring.
I mean, one of the greatest receivers ever.
Loyal
Yeah.
too. You know?
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're gonna finish up with the World Swings Back, and in the World Swings Back, you hear stories of the world trying to take people out and people barely surviving. My son Nate likes to head up this section here, and there's a lot of subjects out there, so not all of them are going to be brand new. But let's see what you got.
All right. So there was an Austrian man, right? His I can't say his name. It was like Andreas something, right? He was a bricklayer's apprentice.
Gotcha.
Back in like it was back in the day. There was some incident, right, where he was arrested falsely because
Okay.
there was a crash of some sort, a vehicle crash, and he was arrested because they believed he was a passenger to this crash.
Right.
So there was 3 policemen, and they took him to the station, and they put him in a cell that
Right.
happened to be in the basement.
Ah.
They forgot about this man. They
Oh.
forgot about him. Let me see. They forgot about him.
For how long?
It was
Whoa.
it was weeks that he was down there. It was like 11 or 12 days, 13 days, something like that. There was condensation, I guess, on the walls of his cell in the basement, and
That allowed him to live.
that's how he lived. He
That
was
is
screaming and
nuts.
everything down there, and they couldn't hear him.
Are you kidding? I bet you he got a fat lawsuit.
That's a cruel
He got
and
nothing
unusual
until a
punishment.
couple years later. Then they finally gave him, I think it was like 2,000 shillings or something. He lost 50 pounds, and the only reason that he got discovered is because an officer had unrelated business in the basement. So he went down there and he smelled this dude, and he unlocked the cell and found him in there. And the 3 cops, I guess, were talking about, oh well, we thought you let him out, and then they were like, well, we thought you let him out. So nobody was on the same page.
That's technically an infringement on his 8th Amendment right.
Well, I think this was, this was in,
Cruel and unusual, yeah.
this was in 1979.
Should get a fact check.
But let's be clear. The amendments only apply in America. That was Australia.
18 days he was down there,
Wow.
and they forgot about him. He survived.
18 days, guys. No
That's
food,
nuts.
Yep.
no water. You gotta wonder how it is that he didn't get paid big time for this.
Yeah.
Because
I want to see exactly how much this man got paid out because
I'm curious, because
Probably
it just goes to show that America is the greatest country no matter what people say. Because I know there's been shit way less than that where people have sued the jails and gotten big paychecks. That man should be rich.
So I got it wrong. He got 250,000 Austrian shillings, which I don't know what that comes out to in U.S. dollars.
200.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I know shillings, I don't think are equivalent to a U.S. dollar.
no. I mean, look, I literally used to make fun of people saying,
That's
I'm going to pay you $1 shilling.
They got
That's $1,700.
You're joking.
okay, yeah. So he got $1,700, which I guess in the 70s and 80s is probably a little bit better, but still, that ain't nothing for
No,
being down
it's
there.
not.
No food or water for 18 days in that cell.
Yo, Australia, y'all be trying to kill people. I want to say
Y'all
this to
bug
you,
it.
okay?
Yeah, they're whack.
I done heard of pilots down there getting lost in the outback and they barely make it out.
Yeah.
We talked about the story I told y'all the other week where those students from the UK went swimming down there in a place that was that said infested, do not swim.
Oh, yeah.
The locals said, yeah, go on out, buddy. And the girl got taken. You know, Australia got about 8,000 creatures that will just kill you. So, good thing the man lived. Hopefully he had a blessed life afterwards.
He did. He recovered. He got to the hospital. It took him a while, obviously, because he lost 50 pounds in 18 days.
I mean, that's called the starvation diet. I wouldn't recommend anybody trying that.
Not a good diet.
But-
He actually, by the way, holds the record for that.
Oh, for
Really?
most, really?
For longest without food and water, he holds the record for that.
Can this man get paid for something? He's got a record. He lost 50 pounds.
And he was arrested falsely.
Yeah.
The whole
It was a
arrest.
false.
Where is
Yeah.
Mr. Beast when you need him?
Wow.
They took him down because, and that's what it was. I guess they took him down there and they were gonna let him go, and the 3 of them thought the other ones had did it.
That's
So-
just sick, man. Well,
Blaming each other.
Yeah.
I'll say this, guys, before we wrap it up. You know, I've been in judicial systems, been in jails, and I can see how something like that could happen. You'll see guards on a on a totally unrelated scale. I don't even want you to think I'm comparing them. I'm not. I had been sent some shoes and clothes at a jail that I was at. And one guard assured me that he was bringing it to me in the morning. 3 days went by. I kept asking them, yeah, we got you. And they would pawn it off on the next guard. And they weren't doing it intentionally. They literally, for 3 days, got lost in the shuffle getting my stuff. And I've seen shit where a guy got left in the hole a day longer than he was supposed to. I've seen, there was what's called a center yard at this jail I was at. And we were only supposed to be out for an hour a day. One day they left us out there for 5 hours. Now, we were happy. We were like, yeah, fuck yeah, we out there, working out, talking, because that was our only time out. But the point is, these oversights happen, and you wonder how many people have died because of stuff like that,
Yeah, terrible.
Hey, listen, make sure you check us out on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, both our YouTube channels, and our Facebook page. Go check us out on all of them. This full episode will be up tomorrow. We got clips coming on the Clips channel, clips coming on TikTok, Instagram. Give us a follow everywhere. Look, y'all, don't let the world whoop your butt. Swing back, bust it down, and we'll see you next time, Monday. Peace.
There's a story that just came out. There's a couple people in conspiracy
Really?
about.
Me too.
You know how
Yeah, I think we have to take it off.
cheap burgers today?